Hey, what's up, guys? We're back to some more Space Marine 2, and today I brought a new face or a new friend to my channel.
Yo.
His name is Duke, and yeah, he's a very cool guy. I like him personally, but today we're gonna be discussing our thoughts and our opinions about this new update. And this new update, from what we could tell, we tried it last night. It's not a very good update.
Yeah, there's some things that I feel like they should have learned from Helldivers too on this one.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just I don't know why, but yeah, I just don't understand why they would fuck with the weapon damage, even though it was fine the way it was before. But I'm guessing all of the sweat lords and all the tryhards, they just start coming over to this game and are like, "Oh yeah, make it harder," and then they debuff the shit out of every weapon because they're appeasing that side of the fan base. But what about us? You know?
Here, here's the thing, in Warhammer, sure the entire human narrative is the will and spirit of humanity against insurmountable odds, but Space Marines are humanity's finest. If you want a struggle where you have to fight impossible odds, that's why the guardsmen exist. That is their role.
Exactly. And like you said last night, the Space Marines, they are literal super soldiers. They are meant to be insanely strong, and they shoot, like you said, in your own words, they shoot soda can sized projectiles. These things will shred through anything. It doesn't matter. So, Saber Interactive, why the fuck did you mess with the weapon damage and trying to appease all the sweat lords that come to your game? Because not everybody wants to do that. Not everybody wants to go in and then try to complete a mission, but then just suddenly out of nowhere, you just you somehow die, and you're just sitting there like, man, they're shredding through my armor a lot worse than they were before. So yeah, that's something we definitely noticed. Uh, and Duke, if you don't mind, could you read off the patch notes?
All right, let me pull them up here. Uh, So they did add a new operation, which is great, and it adds new content for the community to explore. But at the same time, they released a new difficulty, which would have been fine on its own, but the the challenge of this difficulty seems to have bled into the difficulty before it, because now some of the mechanics that were added to the lethal difficulty are in the for example, on one hand, having limited ammo grabs for like players, that is an interesting mechanic, and I
Yeah,
do
and
see
I
that helping to
yeah, I
make.
perfectly agree with that mechanic. I think it's unique. It makes it more interesting whenever you go into, these missions, and let's say like you run out of ammo, there's no more ammo caps, so you're kind of just forced to rely on your teammates and your melee weapon or whatever. I mean, I think that would be, look, don't get me wrong, that sounds fun, but when you debuff weapon damage, when you debuff armor effectiveness, it's not the same.
Another issue I have with this is the new mechanic where the new tethering mechanic where you have to stay close to your team in order to basically not suffer, because instead of because it was added to encourage cooperative gameplay and
Yeah, teamwork.
teamwork, but the problem is it doesn't reward teamwork, it simply punishes not doing teamwork. So Like there's no incentive that makes players want to use this mechanic, but they're punished for the mechanic's existence.
Exactly.
Not to mention the Auspex scan. The damage from the bosses was reduced by 30% when some bosses you really needed that in order to like chew through their health. And as with the Melta charge, I fail to see why like reducing its damage to bosses by 70% was an idea that ever passed quality assurance, because there's really not a lot that can damage bosses right now, and they're actively taking away the things that could. Like the last patch nerfed the Meltas and the and crack grenades on bosses, which
Wait a second.
sure, if the entire team had them, they
So the most recent patch that came out, did they nerf Meltas again?
nerfed Melta grenades.
Oh yeah, the Melta
Melta
bombs.
charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, they nerfed Melta rifles in the last patch, which
God, I don't understand. Why the fuck are they just? Why are they taking away all the things that made this game fun?
yeah, I fail to see how nerfing things changes the balance, because all it does is
It was balanced
bring.
before.
Yeah,
Why are they
it was
touching the
balanced
balance?
Yeah, this patch did a lot of things right, like back end wise, but completely failed to like make the community want to engage in the new content. Hell, even engage in the old content now that Ruthless difficulty missions are like twice as
Yeah,
difficult.
Ruthless was way more fun than Lethal, if I'm going to be completely honest. And that was the most.
Yeah.
That was the hardest difficulty.
Even funnier, the cosmetics that they added that are like, your reward for playing the new difficulty. Sure, like the armor works, but like half of the decals you get are bugged, and they're not even usable. Yeah, like on another note, this new mission they added is actually quite interesting and engaging, but with all of the issues that they created for players, like how armor is less effective now, and not to mention the fact that they nerfed fencing type weapons, which allowed you to block a lot easier than like balance type weapons. Now fencing weapons feel like balance type weapons. Balance feels like block, and block is just unusable.
Pretty much. And you can thank all of the sweat lords that came to this game, complaining that it wasn't hard enough.
I was looking on the Reddit, and there's a lot of people agreeing with a lot of our opinions. But I was also looking on the Discord, and on the Discord, it was just people saying, "Oh, I like the new patch. I love how they nerfed fun out of the game." Like, cool, buddy. Give us more, I don't know. If you want a Souls-like experience, play a Souls-like.
Exactly. Not everybody wants to be in a Souls-like game that they did not pay $60 for. I paid $60 to go in here and cut some heads off, rip people apart. I didn't pay $60 to die over and over and over again, like in Elden Ring. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Elden Ring. I've played it. It's amazing. I love that game. It's a fucking masterpiece. But when you try to put Souls-like elements heavily into other games, usually it always flops.
Yeah, like this game's mechanics are from Gears of War, but they're trying to make it play like a Souls-like.
Exactly.
Here's the thing: Gears of War, sure, it was difficult at times, but it had a very well handled cover mechanic, which allowed you to be able to plan out attacks and engagements. Whereas this game lacks that, yet expects you to deal with being out in the open.
Yeah,
and
that's...
block was pretty much our cover mechanic, being able to parry, and the fact that they made that more difficult kind of defeats the purpose of that mechanic's existence, especially in higher difficulties where it's necessary.
Yeah, and I perfectly agree. Honestly, I really do. And I know a lot of you in the comments are probably going to be like, I don't know what to tell you, get better. But sure, I guess.
What encouragement is there to get better when it's just suffering either way?
Exactly. And Duke would even tell you. He'll tell you that there is no getting better if you're constantly debuffing the weapon damage, and you're also making it harder to get, you know, armor, and the armor is a lot weaker than it was.
Yeah. Now, luckily, they didn't bring the whole tethering mechanic over to Ruthless, but that
I'm glad they
tethering
did not do that. If they did that, I swear, I would uninstall this game and never come back, but...
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I would share my reflections, but I have observed you seem
I mean, if you want to go to Dark Souls, play Dark Souls. That's fine.
But, like, I feel like the kind of game that, like, Focus is trying to make isn't a Space Marine game, it's a Guardsman game. Yeah, let us, like, I don't know, you want a game where, like, humanity's fighting insurmountable odds, and, like, we're the underdog in the whole fight? Let us be there for Cadia's final stand. Let us be a Guardsman on the front lines with nothing but a las rifle, and a commander who will shoot us if we run away.
Yeah, like a Souls-like Warhammer game would be really nice. It would be really cool, actually. I would really love it, but this is not the type of game that you should be turning it into a Souls-like. This game is meant to be a horde shooter and just really dumb caveman fun. And to take that away from people as soon as they paid $60 for it, just so you could please all the sweat lords, is mind-boggling to me. I don't understand it. Oh yeah, by the way, he said to me, he said it. Okay, anyways. Yeah, so I really do hope some of you have the same opinion as we do, because, I mean, obviously, some people, I don't really understand their reasoning or their point of view on why this game should be a Souls-like, because this is about Space Marines. It wouldn't make any sense to make them weaker than they are supposed to be. That's like the whole female Custodes situation, if you remember that, where they switched it completely to where females could suddenly be a Custodes. Don't get me wrong, I like this mission. This mission is really neat, but it's not as neat if you don't have efficient armor and you don't really have, like, you know, a whole lot of damage to work with.
Yeah.
The only problem most of the people have with this update is just what I literally just said. So
What's really funny is this is the farthest we've made it in this mission, ruthless or otherwise. Another thing I feel like needs to be addressed is, I don't know, maybe make the enemy, well, not the enemy, like the bots that we fight with, like, maybe make their skilled scale between difficulties, because
yeah, they're
even
so
on, like, a lower
useless if you go to
difficulty.
a higher difficulty. They are the most useless teammates you will ever have in this game.
Like, if you get a bulwark, at least they'll be able to, like, pop banners and stuff, but they, like, none of them, even the snipers, can barely aim for shit. There will be something in their way, and they will just shoot that thing, and then they won't realize that
And
they gotta
sometimes
take, like,
they'll
one
just
step
go
to the
right in front of you in your line of fire just to piss you off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, please fix the AI, because they are so stupid half the time.
Like, I'm
They act
pretty
like
sure
they don't know what
Minecraft
they're
skeletons are more intelligent than these guys.
Yeah, for real. I really do hope there's probably a lot more to this, and hopefully some of you could address some of this in the comment section down below, and yeah, because we might have missed some stuff. I don't know if we missed stuff, but if we did, then feel free to let us know in the comments, and I will be reading your comments. And if you want to leave a negative comment, you know, I mean, that's fine. It's fine by me. I really do not care, and your comment will be kept in the comment section. So, yeah. If you guys enjoyed, just be sure to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, and share this video to help spread the message about my channel. And my Discord server is linked in the description below, as well as my Patreon. And I will see you guys in the next one. So, peace.